Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. So I figured I would talk about a pretty popular franchise. Like, alright, there's a mixture of action and horror. The horror elements are there, so it's kind of up my alley to some extent, I guess. Because as far as I'm concerned, Halloween is a year-round thing anyway. But anyway, it's a popular series. Yes, I'm referring to The Mummy. And yes, we're talking about the sequels that came out afterwards. Yes, many people have already called this a remake of the original Mummy. And there's elements of it, but calling this a remake, I do kind of feel like it's a bit of a stretch, really. But nevertheless, either way, I want to talk about this movie, regardless, I guess. Of course, yes, I did review the original Mummy a while back, folks, along with some of the other movies that are supposed to be attached to the original continuity. Just throwing it out there. But anyway, The Mummy, yes, I've seen this movie ages ago. It's been years and years since I watched this a while back. So I just took this as an opportunity to rewatch it. I just figured, might as well get to it, I reckon. Yes, of course, like I just mentioned, I will get to the others when I have the chance. Anyway, of course, as usual, let's talk about the plot, shall we? So, let's begin. Oh, yeah. In this movie, we get to see that there was this dig in the old ancient city in this area. There was this American serving in the French foreign, like this place kind of a thing they're doing. And of course, there's like this whole operation thing going on here. Okay, you can already guess yourself. Somebody accidentally awakens this mummy who begins to cause havoc among this place as he searches for the reincarnation of his long lost love. Because this film started off with the mummy and his lover. So, of course, he wants that woman to return, quite obviously. Our main character on the others pretty much must defeat this mummy. But obviously, yes, of course, our main character didn't want anything to do with this whatsoever. And once he finally joins forces with everyone else to stop this mummy, yes, of course, this proves to be a lot more difficult to do so than expected originally. Yes, of course, it's kind of like a love story with the mummy. The mummy wants his girlfriend to come back, so to speak. So, okay, that's definitely a part of the story. It's what motivates him to do what he has to do. And of course, he's a crazy bastard. Of course, he is. And yes, obviously, out among this whole wild craziness, our main character and this woman here, she must survive. And yeah, he must survive as well with her, as the mummy pretty much causes all this devastation in this place that they're in. So yeah, everybody's frightened. Everybody's really scared. Quite obviously, like I was saying earlier, it's an action movie with elements of horror. So yeah, this also comes off like an adventurous type of a movie as well. So that's thrown into the movie on top of that. But ultimately, that's what this is. It's an action movie. It's first and foremost, it's an action movie. Those explosions, guns, and all that jazz. That's what this is. It's an action movie. That that's it, really. Like I said, there's horror elements thrown into this, which is fine, I suppose. But it's way more heavily leaning on the action. Action is just that pretty much, really. And then the whole mummy's backstory with the girlfriend and all that is pretty much used as a way to set up for everything else, as I was saying earlier. Just, yeah, I didn't care for this movie. I really didn't care for it at all. I know, I know there are people who really enjoy this film, but it just comes off, it's just not out of nostalgia of anything. Anyway, I didn't like it, alright? I did not like this film whatsoever. It's okay. It's very, very generic. It's bland. It's so boring. I've seen so many bad movies over the years, and I do mean a lot. Yes, that was my attitude throughout the entire movie. I'm just indifferent. I was about as indifferent as you can possibly be. It's not particularly good, not really. Just I'm just whatever about it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just whatever about this. I've seen so many bad movies over the years. It just seems like whatever in comparison, I guess. But okay, do recall that a lot of people was making this be such a big thing when it was released, and people still do that to this very day. I don't know why, but okay. As I was saying, folks, is that yes, I've seen quite a few terrible mummy movies before. Obviously, this was not the first time whatsoever. I've seen a lot of this schlock, similar in genre, I guess you would say. So this is not the first time, of course. And it's not gonna be the last time either. But I've seen worse. I'm not defending this movie, right? This is not by any means defending this movie whatsoever. As I was saying, it's extremely generic. It doesn't try to do anything new. It's just one of these types of movies. It doesn't necessarily have a deep plot or anything, or deep characterizations. The things get from point A to point B to point C very quickly, so the pacing isn't particularly bad. The pacing is actually really good, actually. It gets to the point fairly quickly, which of course is appreciative, obviously. But yes, the overall structure of the story, it does have a good beginning, middle, and end. That's true. And it gets to the point fairly quickly, so as I was saying, the pacing is really brisk, so I'll give it that. Just because of that doesn't mean I'm necessarily giving this movie any kind of applause or anything, because I'm clearly not. It can still be just a pretty bland movie, even if I point out some decent things about it. That's the thing, though. Ultimately, I do kind of regret revisiting this movie. And when it comes to watch movies, I usually don't want to have repeats. That's the thing, folks. Maybe just me. That's a me thing, really. I guess I don't usually want to watch repeats. I would probably just typically just watch a movie once, and that would be it. Really, for most of the time, it's just a one-time thing when it comes to watching. I just don't like repeats. That's all I'm saying. I just don't like repeats when it comes to movies. If I watched it, and I'll just call it a day. So I would rarely revisit a film that I've already watched. I guess in this case, it's been like eons and eons ago. So okay, yes, I just rewatch it just so I can do a whole review for this. And yes, I would do it like I was saying earlier. I would do a review for all the others as soon as I can. But I'm just going to focus on this. I don't think that they were planning to do a series of films, even if the first one was really successful. I don't know, maybe they were. I don't know. But anyway, yes, I do realize there's also this English librarian. She's in this. She becomes interested in starting this kind of dig in this ancient city, but then things become pretty chaotic and whatnot. Yeah. Just it's whatever. It's just whatever. As far as I'm concerned, it's meh. So anyway, ultimately, I'm not gonna watch this again. That was it. Okay, that was fine. It was whatever. Oh, definitely. I'll just pick the original film. I prefer the original film, as if it wasn't obvious enough. So, okay, even if I just want to accept this movie as its own thing, okay, let's just say that. Let's just. Okay, even if I want to just accept this as its own thing, you can put up that argument if you want. Just accept this as its own thing, as its own, I guess, type of a movie. It's still not very good. Not by any means, really. Anyway, I'll give this film a Novavar rating of a 5.0 out of 10. It gets a 5.0 out of 10 from me. So as always, thanks for watching, and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.